All right, when we come back, you try hijacking an Israeli jetliner. Virtually never happens, right? Their security is that good. So imagine red-faced Tel Aviv officials hearing not only did computer criminals hack into the national airlines, but also scores of Israeli banks, businesses, and even the country's main stock exchange as well, all hacked and within the same 24 hours. Think they're scared? Wait till I tell you how much we're scared.
The Fox Business Network, the power to prosper.
Holy cow, massive hack attacks in the Holy Land. Israeli websites ranging from the national airline to banks, even the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, all hit in the latest round of attacks they think are coming out of Saudi Arabia. My next guest says, don't think America isn't watching, because if hackers can stop the airlines, banks, and stock exchange in one of the most, at least, defensive and penetrable countries on the planet, how stable do you think we are? Cybersecurity expert Robert Siciliano says we need to beef up our defenses. You know, Robert, my first reaction, anyone who's ever flown, any Israeli airline, or if you've just been into Israel itself, you know that they pay a high degree of attention to security. So they could be, anyone can.
Yeah, no question. At this point, the attacks on the stock exchange and the airline were on their website, what's called denial of service attacks, where criminals will send botnets or other computer code to access that website, thousands of hits at a time, making it difficult for anyone else to access the site. It crashes the site. That's far from actually crashing the stock exchange or a plane, for that matter. But still, the fact that this is occurring is certainly alarming.
You know what worries me, Robert? Because my theory has always been we're always waiting for another 9/11. We're always waiting for another huge attack. And I think we should be on guard against that sort of thing. But I think in these sophisticated times, you could do huge economic damage just shutting down a bank network, shutting down or wiping out people's accounts on paper so it appears that they have zero. That could do a lot of damage. And we have seen a stepped-up wave of attacks in financial services, financial areas, that regard. We are very vulnerable to that, aren't we?
Yeah, well, McAfee's Threat Labs experts, have been following this and doing studies and making predictions, and we're all concerned that attacks on a critical infrastructure could, in the end, affect loss of life. If electricity and gas and water, a food supply, in any way, shape, or form is attacked and shut down for any extended period of time, even financials at some level, it could definitely cause, mass harm. The chance of something like that happening, today is slim, but there is definitely a chance. And as hackers gear up and they get better and better at what they're doing, it's just a matter of time until they become effective at it.
I always worry, too, that on the financial side, if you suddenly wake up in the morning and find that your bank account is showing zero, your investment account is showing zero, I mean, nothing brings people out on the streets to God knows what. If something like that were to happen, by the thousands, by the millions, and then you're talking real bad stuff. I don't even want to get into it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, the scary thing about that is we hardly exchange in cash anymore today.
That's true. You're right.
It's all ones and zeros. It's all financial transactions being made via computers and the internet and so on. And to wipe that data out, while it's possible, it's not extremely possible. It can be done, but there's so much backing up of the backup that to erase that data would be very, very difficult to do. But again, as the criminals evolve, there's no telling what they can do. But we certainly need to beef up our systems as we become more interdependent on the exchange of information, on remotely accessing data. It opens the door to more opportunities for criminals to do their dirty deed.
All right. Duly noted. Robert Siciliano, thank you very much in Boston.
Thank you.